staying with us. Now, believe it or not, the current pandemic has affected us in more ways than one, with research revealing that stress is causing 1 in 5 Irish people to spend less time on their teeth. So to mark World Oral Health Day, dental hygienist Linda Phelan joins me now to show us how we can improve on our oral health. Linda, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
A Mind Your Mouth survey, the findings have just been released. Tell us about that.
So this survey was carried out between the Irish Dental Hygienists Association and Wrigley's Oral Healthcare Programme.
Okay.
And it showed some quite interesting results. So the first thing we found with it was that almost 1 in 5 people were spending less time on their oral health because of the pandemic, kind of associating it to stress, that they just felt they couldn't spend the time doing it. And that can have obviously a huge impact on those people from not looking after their teeth and gums as much as they would need to.
Which is kind of surprising because we are at home more. So, you know, there's more opportunity really when you think about the less commuting time and all of that to actually brush our teeth, but we're not doing it.
No, well, there were some good results as well. So we did find that 15% more people were flossing, which is, you know, a real positive, and that almost a quarter of people were spending more time toothbrushing. So some people were finding they had the extra time, not commuting and that, so they could look after their teeth a lot better. But it's the people that obviously are finding it very difficult during the pandemic that are now neglecting it, excuse me, and that's who we need to be a little bit more, you know, careful of and look after those people.
Of course, okay. So we know stress causes all sorts of problems in our body. It causes stress to our teeth and our gums as well, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thing again with the survey we found was that a lot more people are finding that they're clenching or grinding their teeth, which can have a huge impact, you know, on your teeth. So this is something you know, we don't want people doing. And if it is something you're finding that's happening, I would encourage people to make an appointment to visit their dental team, you know, discuss these things, because there are things that can be done to help people.
Absolutely, and it's about getting help. I actually told my dentist that I wake up sometimes with a lump inside my gum, and they said you're actually biting your gums in your sleep, which is a totally new thing. I've never done it before. But obviously it's, I don't know, something that's...
Yeah, and it's something a lot of us can do it, like, we're not conscious that we're doing it. So even during the day, we can be clenching and not realising we're doing it. So a very simple thing that I would say to people if they mention that to me would be a piece of sugar-free chewing gum, because it'll just break that habit of holding the teeth, you know, really tight, clenched down together. So it just relieves the stress in your mouth then. And obviously a sugar-free chewing gum isn't going to cause any harm.
Of course. Okay, well look, you're going to take us through a few tips which we probably think are obvious, but we're not doing enough of them. So first of all, brushing your teeth. How often should we be brushing?
So we should be brushing twice a day, so in the morning and in the evening. And the most important thing really is that the technique you're doing is right. So we would say to people to spend 2 minutes each time they're brushing their teeth and to use a good fluoride toothpaste when they're doing it. So I have a nice big model here, so it's nice and easy to see. Now, a lot of the time when we talk about brushing our teeth, the focus then can be that when we're holding the toothbrush, we're right down on the actual surface, you know, the main body of the tooth.
Yeah.
But really what we're trying to do is to get right up to where the tooth and the gum meets together. So it's that little junction where the gum and the tooth meet. That's what we're actually trying to clean. So the best thing to do is to hold your toothbrush that it's at an angle pointing up towards your gums, and to use your toothbrush then to just move the brush in small little circles so that you're massaging along the gum line. So that's the most effective way.
Because some might feel that's going to damage your gums if you kind of move the brush around on them too hard.
Yeah, so the best thing, what we would recommend in terms of a toothbrush is a relatively small head on your toothbrush, and either to look for soft or extra soft bristles on it. Oh,
really?
So that even then, if you're on the gums, there's going to be no damage at all caused.
And where do you stand on the electric toothbrush?
Yeah, so electric toothbrushes, I personally am a huge fan of them. This is what I use myself at home. The real benefit with these brushes is that this brush is doing a lot of the work for you.
Yeah.
So unlike the manual toothbrush where you're having to move the brush around, what this brush does is you just hold it on the tooth, one tooth at a time, again, right up close to the gums, and the brush does all the work for you. There's the added benefit with these brushes that if I just switch this on here, you can see there's a little light on it here. So it indicates the green light. Then when it switches to green, that's telling me it's the right amount of pressure on it. And if I press too hard, then a red light comes on. So if the red light is on, you know you're putting too much pressure on your gums. So you know to ease off, that you're not going to cause any damage.
I'm not sure I ever paid attention to the lights and what colour they were, so that's a really good indicator.
Yeah, so it's something definitely to look out for with the brushes.
And change the heads as regularly as you need to.
About every 3 months you'd want to be changing your head or your regular toothbrush as well.
Now the other thing that every dentist tells us every time we're there is flossing.
Yeah, so it is really important that you're cleaning not just the front and the back of your tooth with the toothbrush, but that you're using something to clean the spaces in between. So there's obviously just regular floss. You can get these ones now, which are quite handy. So it's a little bit of floss on a handle. So particularly when trying to get right into the back teeth, makes it a lot easier.
I find that so much easier to use.
An awful lot easier, yeah. And even easier again, there's these little brushes here, or again, ones that come on a longer handle. So again, from not even being close to the front teeth, I can get right into the very back of the mouth with them. And the little brushes then, again, a lot of people even find this easier because you're going right into the space there. There's not so much kind of pressure or pulling or tugging on the teeth.
And are they as effective as just a regular roll of dental floss?
I would prefer these over floss.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
So the problem with the floss is, again, you need to get it right down into the gums around the teeth. So it's not just the contact point of the teeth. You need to go right down into the gums, which a lot of people don't do with the floss. Whereas these brushes, because they're going into the space between the teeth, that space is down closer to the gum. So the bristles then are at the gum line, which is where you're trying to clean.
Okay, what about children?
So yeah, with children, the technique is the very same. We would just instead, a child-sized toothbrush, obviously with a smaller head on it, so that it fits into their mouths. The most important thing with children, which a lot of people don't realise, is that probably up to nearly when a child is about 8 or 9 years old, they still need the parent doing the brushing for them.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because when I ask 3 boys I have at home, none of them spend more than 20 seconds going like that and then it's gone.
Yeah, and
so you have to supervise it.
Absolutely, they don't even. It's even down to kind of the dexterity. They don't have that, yet to be able to do it themselves. So certainly, you need to be brushing their teeth from as soon as the teeth appear. So that's about 6 months old for some babies.
Okay.
So you're obviously brushing at that stage. Maybe as they get a little bit older, sort of 2, 3-year-olds, they'll want to feel more independent. So in that case, I would say, let them have the toothbrush maybe first to wiggle it around, but then the mom or dad needs to take the brush and make sure it's done properly as well for them.
Okay, brilliant. The sugar-free gum is another great thing to have. If people are looking for more information, Linda, where should they go?
So a lot of this information is up on the Irish Dental Hygienist website, idha.ie, or the Dental Health website as well.
Brilliant. We'll all pay extra attention to our teeth today. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Now, still to come this morning on Ireland AM, we have top tips on how to live more sustainably. Plus, we're previewing all of today's Six Nations action. See you in 3.